And welcome back, everybody, to another lab. Today, we're going to be talking about our Microsoft Excel VBO. Now, just in case you don't know what VBO is, that is the Virtual Business Object. And what's really neat in Blue Prism is we have several of these VBOs pre-built for you that come out of the box. Things like for Excel, Word, Outlook, a lot of common applications. What this does is you can simply import this, which you'll see in this lab, and you can get started right away. You'd have to fill out a lot less of the work you would if you built something from scratch. Why reinvent the wheel if Blue Prism's already done it for you? So today we're going to be working in this Excel VBO. I'll see you in the studio.
All right, and hello everyone. Today we are on Lab 7. Coming to an end to these labs shortly, but hope you enjoyed them so far. So, that being said, let's crack on. We got a little bit of a shorter lab today from the previous two, really simple one. This is all around Microsoft Excel. Now, I do have the instructions open this time. I did want to make sure, friendly reminder, always read some of the stuff up here. But today, this is going to be working with a VBO, Visual Business Object, and this is Microsoft Excel. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is, number one, it's our lab, but number two, if you do not have Excel for some reason, there is a link to download Microsoft Excel here. Okay. Now, this Excel VBO comes with Blue Prism out of the box, so it's not something you have to download from our digital exchange like we did the other day. Now, if you haven't imported this yet, for some reason it's not in your Blue Prism, when you download Blue Prism, and you install it and you set it up, there is a folder. Mine is located in my C drive, program files, under Blue Prism Limited. You can find Blue Prism Automate, and here is a VBO folder with a lot of extra free VBOs. You've got Microsoft Excel, Outlook, Word, so you could just simply go ahead and import it there. And again, just friendly reminder, if you need to import, it's File, Import, and this one will just be under Object. If you look for Release, it won't be there because it is just an object, but that is where it is located. So just a few little setup notes there. So, all right, well, let's continue on. Okay, now we're going to be in Process Studio again, so make sure you've got your Lab 7 process. And basically, so now that we can get a text about the stock prices, we want to make a way to record the news results. So we're going to do that here. So the first thing we're going to do is make a new page. So go ahead and right click, and let's title this one Record in Excel. Okay? So should be right here along with me. The other thing is you're going to want to download the attached Excel sheet that came in the folder for all these labs. And make sure you have it in your C, temp drive, results. I did make sure temp was lowercase, result, R was capitalized, and you'll have your Excel spreadsheet in there, okay? So you will need that. If you want to save it someplace else for whatever reason, that's totally fine. Just know that you'll have to have this, that file path, make a note of where you store it so you can reference it, okay? All right. So now we're going to need a data item to start things off. So we'll come on and put down here. And this is going to be, we're going to call this one handle. And this data type will be number. Go ahead and put that right there. And now we're going to need 4 more data items. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. Just not aligning stuff today. Some things never change, right? Okay, so we've got 4 on here. Okay, now these are going to be all text data types. So data type text. And the first one is going to be called file path. The second one will be cell reference. And data type is text, so 1, 2 punch. And now we're going to put workbook name. And now we're going to do our last one, worksheet name. Text. Okay. And on that let's see, worksheet name. Now we're going to actually, for these 4, we're going to have to put some Excuse me, we're gonna have to put some initial values on here for these. So the first one will be file path, and this is what I was referencing earlier. So we'll do C / come on, Corey, there we go. Temp. And make sure you can either copy and paste these two, might be actually better. Just in case. XLSX. Okay, so let's see, double check that that's okay. Yep, okay. So it should look, so go ahead and put your file path in here. Oh, geez, Corey, you need to put the results in there. Results, capital R, actually. There we go. And now we'll go and do cell reference. This one is going to be A1, capital A. Then we're going to do workbook name, which is results. Okay. And then worksheet name, which will also be results. Whoops. Okay, so you should have results A1, and your file path right here. Okay, this was step 3. So now, and finally, we're going to create 2 collections. So drag and drop these maybe right next to it, like so. And we'll call this one results. We'll just leave this blank for now. And the second one will be search term. Bam. Okay, so you're following along in the instructions. We are now on step 4, page 5. Okay. So we got our, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data items here and 2 collections. All right, let's start with the first collection. Oh, let's do the search term one, actually. So go ahead and open that up. And in the bottom right here, click Add Field. Okay. And then we're going to call this one term and set the type to text. So term and text. Now we're going to want to come over here to this tab next to fields, initial values, and go ahead and we're going to add an initial value like so. And it doesn't matter what you put in here. It's going to get overwritten anyway. So like in the instruction, my colleague Lou here just put something awesome. So type in doesn't have to be that word for word. Don't worry, just put anything in there. And last but not least, we're going to hit OK and close. Okay. So those are our, so we've got everything 2 collections. Yep. All right, now we're going to scroll along to our start properties over here. We're going to add 2 inputs this time. So we're going to add an input for 1 and now the first one we're going to do is results here. Results, and the second one will be search term, and results will put a description as search results. And we'll go ahead and put this as collection, and we're going to drag and drop our results into the store in. So this will actually automatically get set if you have this down here. And then come down here to search term. And we're going to do this one as a text. So make sure text, not collection in this one. And now I want to get that search term dot term. So store in there. Make sure you get this one, not this one. Okay? So just double check that. Everything's all set to go. And now click OK. And we're back on our canvas. So now that we've got kind of the basics set up, it's really time to get into the heart of the lab right here. So if you're following along, I'm on step 6 for page 6. And we're going to go and start to get ahead of this, get into this Excel VBO. Now we're going to do something you may kind of laugh a little bit, but we're going to drag 10 action stages onto our canvas. Yes, you did hear that right. I said 10. So what we're going to do, 9 of these, don't worry, they're going to be calling a action from the Excel VBO, so you won't have to really do anything with them. So 9 out of 10, not bad, 90%. So let's go ahead and drag all these down. And we'll get 6, 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10. Okay, so we've got all 10 of these ready to go. Now, a good best practice in Blue Prism is before we start an application like Excel, we want to make sure that there's one not running in the background or anything like that, or a second one already opening. Again, depends on your process, of course, but it is a best practice to kind of kill that or end it, right, if you will. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up this first action property, and we're going to name it Kill Excel. And then we're going to choose our business object. Now again, these are utilities down here, and they should have come in with Blue Prism themselves. So let me see. Where did I put mine? There we go. Okay, utilities, so kind of near the top, right? Utility and environment, which is somewhere in me. Somewhere in here. Here we go. Utility environment. Okay. By the way, if yours is not in there, go ahead and do import those in your program file. Blue Prism Limited is the folder. It should be in there. So just in case, just import that VBO like I showed you at the beginning of this lab. Next one is just do kill process down here. So again, we haven't built anything, and we're just going to call this one Excel. Okay. And make sure you capitalize that. Don't forget the quotation marks. Very crucial right there. Of course, you could always use your little calculator here and do a validate if you needed to. And go ahead and click OK. So we are now 10% done with our 10 action items. So let's crack on. So now that we have killed any other Excels running in the background, we want to get one open, right? So open up the second one, and this one is going to be called Create Excel Instance. And we're going to use the MS Excel VBO. And once you scroll down there, MS Excel, you should have it looking like this. Okay? Now, what we're going to want to do is under Actions, we're going to go to Create Instance. You can see here's all the different actions we can do with Excel pre-built for you, so you don't have to go into Excel and do them yourselves. Really is a big time saver. I use the Microsoft Outlook one quite a bit, actually. The Word one as well, and Excel. So these are pretty nifty ones to use. We got the good stuff for you. And go ahead and just drag that under number here and put that in store in, and then go ahead OK. And there is our second one completed. Not too bad, right? And now we've got our, now we want to open up our Excel workbook. And by the way, if you guys are struggling with any of this, go ahead once you choose your Microsoft Excel utility. Here it is. You can always hit this this documentation, and it'll leave it open for you. Might be good if you have dual monitors, or even to print this out if you wanted to. I'll show you. Ask me later. There you go. It's got all the documentation. Shows you exactly what you need to put in there, like I was mentioning earlier. So if some of you do want to have this open, go ahead. It won't hurt, that's for sure. All right, so the third one is going to be called Open File. And I'm going to actually go in and choose this, none, and call this open file. There we go. File, not file. Come on, Corey. All right, so let's go down to Microsoft Excel VBO, and this one will be Open Workbook. There we go. Okay, so it should look something like this. Now go ahead in your inputs, get your number, drag in handle over here. And now we, under file name, get your file path. So it should be right there. There you go. And now go to your outputs. This is on the input slide. Now we're going to go to the outputs. And workbook name, we want it to be stored in workbook name. So go ahead and make sure you get workbook, not worksheet, right? Workbook. And place that in there. Okay, we're cracking on. 3 done. There we go. All right, now the fourth one is going to be going to that cell A1. So we're going to call this go to A1. Very original title there. And now we're going to go to Microsoft Excel VBO again. There you go. And for this one, we're going to do go to cell. By the way, if you wanted to, when you had made these action items, you could have just made one and copied it 10 times, and then it would have already had this business object preloaded, and you could change the action. Again, but I wanted to just show you every time you're doing this as well, but just you learn these things and you pick up little shortcuts as you get better and better at doing this. All right, so we got to go to cell, and input again is our handy dandy handle. Yep, as always. And this one is we're going to do our cell reference. So go down here, cell reference, tells A1. Okay, and now go to outputs, and I don't think there are any. Nope. Okay, so inputs, and we are done. So almost at the halfway mark there. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to navigate to the next open column. So we're going to open up this 5th action item right here and say this is the next empty cell right. By the way, I don't know if you saw me typing up here, but you can quickly do that if you wanted to get to a business object instead of having the fun activity of scrolling every time. Or, you know, if you like to scroll, that's certainly up to you. All right, so go to next empty cell to the right. Handle, of course, we're going to drag and drop in. Outputs here, go ahead and click that tab. And this one we're going to do as cell reference again. There we go. Boom. And we're going to go ahead and press OK. Now we're going to go to number 6 here. And we're going to do write search term. And we'll do write collection right here. Now, we do have quite a few inputs in here, so make sure you do get them right. As you guessed, handle will go in handle. But we're basically just matching up everything here. So we're going to go do workbook name in workbook name. Make sure you get workbook name and the worksheet name correctly matched. If you're like me, sometimes you reverse them. Collection will be search term, so that's up here. There we go. And we want search term, not search term. And cell reference will be down here. And include column names, this one will be false. Okay? Not too bad, right? Go ahead and hit OK. And now on to number 7. So now we want to basically navigate to below the search term. So we're going to open up and call this one next empty cell down. And we're going to go ahead and choose our MS VBO, and this one we're going to do go to next cell down. There we go. Go to next empty cell down. And input, will, of course, will be handle as well. Now let's check if there's any outputs. Yep, cell reference. We're going to go ahead and put this in cell reference as well. Not click passwords. There we go. And 3 left to go. So now that we're actually on the right cell, we're going to actually do some writing. So let's open up action stage number 8, and we're going to call this one write results. And business object again, MS Excel. And this one we're going to do is write collection. And once again, we're going to fill out all these. Number, workbook name, worksheet name. Collection, this one's different from the other steps. Make sure you do results here and not in search term. Cell reference down there, and include column names is false. Okay, so it should look just like this for your inputs. Go ahead and click OK. Second to last one. Now basically what we want to do is we want to save. So we're going to call this save. Call this Microsoft Excel VBO. And this one we're going to save current workbook. Okay. No action, no inputs or anything on that one, so go ahead and click OK. And finally, it's time to close our workbook. So we're going to do close workbook. And we'll choose our MS Excel. And go to close current workbook. Okay, and now we're going to do our numbers here. Okay, so that's all done right there. And finally, click OK. So it should look something like this. I'm going to go ahead and move my end over here. And finally, don't forget to link them all together. I don't know if you guys have heard in this recording, but if you hear a baby in the background, you're not going crazy. It's very hot today in Berlin, and I have our windows cracked. We don't have AC a lot in Germany. And so one of my neighbors has a kid, and they're just on the balcony, just crying. So anyways, apologize if that got picked up on the recording. But I thought I should mention that in case people are like, am I going crazy? Or I'm hearing things. Sometimes I think I'm going crazy. All right, so we look like this. There you go, okay? So all nice and linked up. So now go back to our main page. Oh, yes. And now we want to do a page referencing our record in Excel, right? The one that we just finished doing. So let's go over here and delete this comma over there, our link, and we'll go ahead and grab a page. And this one will be record in Excel. And hit finish. And then don't forget to link those two together. And finally, we're going to come into record in Excel, and don't forget to, so click that action items, and we want to put in our results here, okay, as our inputs down here. So go ahead and grab results, and then search term, which is our search for. Go ahead and click OK. And there we go. So you've got your official Lab 7 done. Of course, all that's left to do is reset and run it, watch it in action. Again, if you're having any stuck, don't forget, or if you're having any stuck, that is terrible English, Corey. If you're getting stuck at any point, don't forget there is the answer key that you can always open up stages, see any things that you may have missed, compare and contrast, right? So go ahead, reset. Play this. If you want to slow it down, by the way, you can do it over here, or maybe see if you can run it side by side. Just have some fun with it. So, all right, guys, that's it. Let's go in.